pulled over in Nebraska, claiming he failed his field sobriety test due to a misunderstanding related to hearing loss due to his time in the National Guard. In September 2006, a statement to KTTC's sister station, KEYC in Mankato, a campaign spokesperson said, quote, "The DUI charge was dropped for a reason. It wasn't true." She went on to say, quote, "The trooper had him drive to the station and then leave on his own," end quote, to her statement. However, Nebraska court records tell a different story. In written testimony, the 1995 arresting state trooper said he transported Walz to the hospital for a blood test, and he took him to the county jail where he was booked.
Idea that you said that you were in war. Yeah. Did you misspeak as the campaign has said?
Yeah, I said we were talking about, in this case, this was after a school shooting, the ideas of carrying these weapons of war. And my wife, the English teacher, told me my grammar is not always correct. But again,
and I gave the money back, and I'll tell you what I have been doing. I've been voting for common sense legislation that protects the Second Amendment, but we can do background checks. We can do CDC research. We can make sure we don't have reciprocal carry among states, and we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons are at.
No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Hello, my fellow disputers, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Billy, and you're watching Disputes. Today, we're diving deep into the troubling record of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. From his misleading claims about his military service to lies surrounding his past, and some controversial statements about Trump and child labor. Buckle up, because this one's full of deception and dishonesty. Let's get into it. Tim Walz loves to promote his service in the National Guard, but his fellow veterans are now coming forward and calling him out. Recently, 4 men who served with Walz sat down with Megyn Kelly for an explosive interview where they outright called him a coward. They shared how Tim Walz exaggerated his role in the military, making it sound like he was some decorated war hero. But in reality, they say he avoided the front lines and rarely put himself at risk. According to them, Walz was more interested in advancing his political career than standing shoulder to shoulder with his fellow soldiers. These are men who know the truth, and they aren't afraid to expose him for the fraud he is.
A letter to the Armed Services Committee then, after I never heard nothing back from Tim Walz and the Ag Committee and everyone he was on, it was like, this guy is lying about his rank. Nobody responded.
He still hasn't responded, which is why we're here together.
Exactly.
It's
like, what? Well, he never will. He'll have a spokesperson say he misspoke.
Well, so here's what he has said. All right, we're going to play some of his sound here where he didn't really address it, but after this all hit, he got out there and did a couple of announcements at various rallies, and we'll take a look at one of them. This is SOT 6 in his rally right after the vice presidential announcement.
My dad served in the Army during the Korean War. With his encouragement, at 17, I joined the Army National Guard. For 24 years, I proudly wore the uniform of this nation. The National Guard gave me purpose. It gave me the strength of a shared commitment to something greater than ourselves. And just as it did for my dad and millions of others, the GI Bill gave me a shot at a college education.
He just said that it was the biggest commitment, and his exact words, it was bigger than himself, right?
Right.
Bigger than himself. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. He's the pinnacle of everything, right? Everything he does and says. A couple of years ago, I did an interview, and in that I said he's a habitual liar. He lies about everything. He lies about stuff that doesn't make sense. And, and again, here we got the Chamber of Commerce coming out. Yeah, you were in the Nebraska National Guard. You came to the Minnesota National Guard. Why? I don't know. Let's talk about, he says all these things. Like I was a football coach. You were assistant coach and you were fired because of a DUI that you lied about being deaf on.
Now let's talk about Walz's DUI. This story was buried under the rug. Instead of owning up to it, Walz has consistently downplayed and dismissed the claims. The fact that he's hiding this from the public should tell you everything about his character. Walz was pulled over doing 96 in a 55 and blew a .128, which is over the legal limit. If he's willing to lie about this, what else is he hiding?
Now, according to police records obtained by CNN, a Nebraska state trooper booked Walz speeding at 96 in a 55-mile-per-hour zone. Now, according to that police report, a strong alcoholic odor was detected from Walz's breath and person, and he failed the field sobriety test. Then he failed the preliminary breath test, and he failed the subsequent blood alcohol test when he was taken to a hospital before being booked for that DUI. But now fast forward to 2006, when Walz was running for Congress. His campaign told a very different story. His communications director told a local paper that Walz's arrest was because of hearing loss he suffered in the artillery unit of the National Guard. Quote, he couldn't understand what the trooper was telling him during the field sobriety test, and the trooper refused to speak up.
Walz has made public statements painting himself as a firm anti-Trumper. But according to some reports, his own family supported Donald Trump during the elections. While it's perfectly fine for families to have differing political opinions, the problem here is that Walz has consistently tried to hide and lie about this to maintain his progressive image. Take a look at what Tim's brother had to say about him. The text reads, "I'm torn between that and just keeping my family out of it. The stories I could tell." Not the type of character you want making decisions. This is another instance where Tim Walz's word just doesn't match the reality. Walz has also made outrageous claims about Trump. One of the biggest lies he's pushed is that Donald Trump has some secret plan to bring back child labor.
Somebody said, what's next? Child labor? Hell yeah, it's in there. That's what they've got in there. You see states doing that, putting our children at risk. That's what they'll do.
Yes, you heard that right. Child labor. But here's the kicker. While Walz is spreading this baseless conspiracy, it's actually under progressive leadership in places like New York City, where migrant children are being exploited in labor situations right now.
¿Y de qué país?
De Colombia.
De Colombia. ¿Y cuántos años tienes tú?
Repite los años de los niños que andan acá afuera. De 8, de 11, de 14. Trabajando acá afuera. Ajá. Esto que se han robado y entonces tenemos que cuidarnos. Aquel día a una señora la robaron y le robaron.
It seems like Walz is trying to deflect attention from what's happening under Democratic leadership and instead pin the blame on Trump. But facts don't lie. Walz does. Tim Walz has spent years lying to the public about who he is, what he's done, and what he stands for. You made it to the end. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, then please leave a comment. We love to hear from all of you. Until next time, it's been your boy Billy with Disputes, and we'll see you in the next one.
My view is early voting's about to start, and I don't know how many Americans are truly familiar with her positions of decriminalizing illegal immigration and free housing, health care, education. Tim Walz wants free college education, legal driver's licenses.
I was so honored today.
And she wants a path to citizenship.
His brother endorsed me.
I saw that.
And his whole family. I saw the picture. And honestly, it was a very nice looking family. But his brother endorsed me and the whole family endorsed me. I said, who are all the people?
Let me play
Kamala. There's something weird with that guy. He's a weird guy. JD is not weird. He's a solid rock. I happen to be a very solid rock. We're not weird. We're other things perhaps, but we're not weird.